Hey guys, welcome back to Glam Finds, and I think I'm a little late on this, but I do have your list of indie and niche fragrances for winter of 2021, and as you know, I'm more into indie than niche, but I do have a pretty good lineup here. I have 6 indie and 4 niche. One I only have 2 actually I only have samples of, so I'm just gonna pop a bottle up when I talk about them. So let's go ahead and start this off with an indie fragrance. Now, the reason I want to start off with this fragrance is because I think a lot of people would lean towards this in the summer, but because it's so heavily concentrated, and sometimes this is a particular note that I like in winter, I'm going to go with From the House of Authenticity, Fresh Boss. I get it, fresh is in the name. People are probably gonna go for this in the summer. But the way that the mint is used in here, it almost gives you a little bit of a chocolate mint situation. I love this when it's cold. I love it. You know, I know most people are gonna reach for this on a hot day. This is gonna make a lot of summer lists, but for me, this is perfect for a nice, brisk, cold day. And because it performs so well, you can get away with wearing something that's a minty fragrance in the cold. I will also say this, a lot of mint fragrances that I think a lot of people may gravitate towards in the warmer months, or ones that I'll pull for in the cooler months, because mint can oftentimes, depending on what it's combined with, give you a chocolate mint feel, and I love that in the cold. Next. So let's go with a really obvious one that I think a lot of people still are not like huge fans of, but I like how rugged it is. And from the house of Mancera, it's gonna be Mancera's Red Tobacco. Now this isn't for everyone, and I know it gets compared to Carlisle. I have smelled Carlisle. I think I have a sample somewhere in there of Carlisle. I kind of get it, but I don't really get it. This is like more rugged, and to be honest, I think it's a little less sweet than Carlisle in my opinion. But I like it a lot. Like, rugged works for me. I don't like stuff that's like too sweet and smooth. I don't know why, but it doesn't really do very much for me. Now this type of tobacco, combined with all the fruity notes. Also, I'm not going to talk too much about any fragrance here, because all except a few have reviews for me, and the ones that don't have reviews, I'd rather put out a full review versus put out a like 45-minute video on my top 10 list. I'm not really that kind of person. But Red Tobacco has been around for a while. If you want more information about it, check out my review next. So the next one, I'm going to just go ahead and pop a bottle of right here. It's from the house of Genre, and it's Tenor. Tenor to me is pretty much their boldest OG fragrance. It smells amazing, but it's not for everyone. It's got floral notes, it's got sweet notes, it's got amber, musk, vanilla, frangipani even. But for me, that one I would wear on the same occasions that I would wear like Tom Ford Black Orchid EDP, not Parfum, because the EDP for me is a little bit more bold, a little bit more attention grabbing. I think Tenor is in that same category. It turns heads. It smells amazing. Probably not going to be for everyone, but for the people that enjoy that, they're not just going to like it, they're going to love it. I will eventually do a full review on that one when I get my full bottle. Next. All right, so let's do one that I haven't reviewed, but I have talked about a little bit on Instagram. This one I was turned on to by Travis from Dapper Fragrances. This is another one that you're gonna have amber and musk in, but then you're gonna have fruity notes and sweeter notes and vanilla, and it's gonna be from the house of Parfums Del Mar. This is Elixir Dominique. Now, first of all, let me say this. This is my absolute fanciest bottle. Big fan of the presentation here. It's completely bedazzled. The cap is super heavy, but I love it. There's caramel in here, but I don't find this to be too sweet. It doesn't have incense, but it gives off an incense vibe. Not smoky, just kind of a light incense vibe, and I really like it. I feel like you can dress it up in the winter time. You can wear it casually too, but I really like it dressed up, and it's definitely a compliment getter and performs really well. It has a lot of woody features. It has oud in it, but I don't really get an oud note. Again, I'm not very sensitive to oud, but there's not any skank in this at all. It really comes off more woody to me, and it's got things that is combined with like amarice and fig leaf. So the way that this is blended is chef's kiss. It's really nice, and again, for the winter time, I really enjoy wearing this one. I will eventually do a full review on it if you guys want. If you guys want a full review on this one, actually just let me know down below. If there's any that I haven't reviewed that you guys want a full review on, let me know next. All right, so this next one was created with winter in mind, and it's from the first indie house I ever tried, and I'm still rocking with them pretty strong now. From Kirk Elliott, it's gonna be Quintessential. Out of all my Kirk Elliott's, which I have most of his stuff, this is my absolute favorite. You get buttered rum, you get pine. I think it's insanely sexy, and when I want something for like a date night in the winter time, this is the one I go to. It's just really, really nice. It's different, but it's not funky different, because you guys know I'm not really a big fan of funky different, and it just gets the job done. Buttered rum and pine, like, it's really hard to, for me, it's really hard to dislike those notes. I love it. I've already done a full review on this, so if you actually are interested in this, check that out. I'll link this fragrance down below. Next. So let's go niche again, and it's going to be from the house of Montal, Oud Dream. I don't feel like this one's talked about very much. The three notes that are mentioned in it are rose, patchouli, and I believe it's oud. This is not a very oudy fragrance, which is really funny because I think Montal's kind of known for that, but you get some woods. They kind of fail to mention that this is a pretty sweet fragrance. So what I get is sweet, spice. You definitely get that patchouli. It kind of gives it a little bit of a mentholy feel. The way that they blend the patchouli with rose in here, they actually do a really, really good job, which is why I'm surprised that this doesn't get more talk. So the patchouli and the mint are in there. It's kind of mentholated, and it's got that sweetness from the rose, but I pick up more sweetness. On the Montal site, I think it says something about honey sweetness, so maybe that's the note I'm picking up. It is sweet. It's not too sweet. I think it has a pretty good similarity to oud tobacco from Montal, but this one I feel like has more spice to it. Again, they don't mention really a lot of spice, but I'm definitely picking up some spices. So for me, when I'm in something kind of cozy, I like to reach for that one. Easy date night scent as well. And on top of that, this is actually pretty inexpensive if you can find it. If I can find it where I found it before, I will link it down below. And I kind of like the presentation. It's that matte black with gold. It's pretty nice. But this is a Montal that I feel like should get more talk because it is really easy to wear. Some Montals can be a little bit challenging for people like me that just want a people-pleasing fragrance, just spray and go. This one is not. That's why this one made the list. And it's easier to find than oud tobacco. So next. All right, let's do one that has not a lot of talk yet. It's from the house of Dapper, but it's an original fragrance. That's why it made this list. It's Dapper's Southern Comfort. The reason that this made this list is because this smells like Christmas to me. It's just a ton of cinnamon and spices with the tobacco in the background and the booze kind of in the background of that. But when you buy this, you need to know that this is first and foremost a spicy scent. I think that's what I'm getting the most of. Yeah, it just literally reminds me of Christmas Day. That is why it had to make the winter list, because Christmas is in winter. It's really funny because this was something that was recently poured, but it already projects like a monster. The notes that project the most are obviously the cinnamon and spices right now. I imagine once this sits, I'm gonna get a little bit more of the tobacco and a little bit more of the booze, and it's gonna be a little bit more of that sort of balance. But I like the smell of Christmas, so it's making the list now. Southern Comfort by Dapper, next. All right, so the next one is going to be another niche one, and this one's been talked about a lot, so I'm not going to say too much on it. From the house of Nishani, it's Fan Your Flames. I think a lot of people would put Annie in this place, and I like Annie, but this is more different. And the opening is a little dirty. I kind of like that. I don't know why. I don't really like a ton of dirty fragrances, or I guess we should say earthy. But this one I like, and it's coconutty. It's a dense coconut. Like, this is not something you're gonna wear in the summer. You need this to be cold so you can wear it. I hesitate reaching for this because that's how I feel about it. It does smell really, really good though, and it's an extrait de parfum, so it's gonna last you a really long time. I haven't done a review on this. I know I need to. There are a ton of other reviews on this though. So if you're looking for something a little bit dense, a little bit different, this is not a blind buy, guys. Like, I wouldn't blind buy this. I don't think this is gonna be everybody's cup of tea. I really genuinely don't. I think it takes a certain person to like this fragrance. But I like it. I like that it's different. I like that it makes you kind of think a little bit. I'm lucky enough to where it works pretty well on my skin. So next. The next one I haven't even done my first impressions on, but I was filling this list and I felt like I really needed to put it on this list because I really enjoy it. From the house of Sammy Andros, it's going to be Oxaline Brawn. I cannot lie, I actually like the presentation on this because look how cute it is. Yeah, look at that. Let me read you the notes. It's gonna be gray tea, so obviously that's why I gravitate towards it. I love tea. Bergamot, sandalwood, suede, and oud. I don't feel like the oud is too oudy. I think the oud is actually really well blended with the suede and the sandalwood, so this actually comes out really creamy with some woodiness, a little bit of sweetness, and then the bergamot actually opens this fragrance up nice. It pops. But as it dries down, you kind of lose the bergamot and the other stars kind of come up. There's, I think, a noticeable tea note in here, which is probably one of the reasons that I really like it. This one, as soon as I smelled it, I was like, this is a killer fragrance. So if you want to try the House of Sammy Andros and you want something really dense for the winter, this is the one that I would reach for now. There is another one that I feel like is kind of head to head with it, but I'm gonna do a video on the 3 new fragrances that I have from Sammy Andros, so you'll kind of know. But if you like something that's kind of got that like creamy, leathery feel, this is probably the one I would pick up next. So the next one I don't have a bottle of, and I think this may surprise you guys. But it's from the house of Parfums de Marly. Yes, I did go to the Parfums de Marly counter in New York City. I believe it was Bloomingdale's. Shout out to Yusra for hooking myself and my buddy up with a bunch of samples and letting us try the entire line. Out of everything, the fragrance that I liked the absolute most was Pegasus Exclusive. And that one has a good amount of spice, some woods, almond, heliotrope. Everything is blended so perfectly. It made me have faith in Parfums de Marly again. If you guys have watched this channel at all, I own Layton and I don't wear it, and it doesn't really make any lists. Every now and then, like, I'll pull for it, and I think it has made some lists before, but it just doesn't wow me. But this does. Like, this really got me. Like, the minute I sprayed it, and I will say it goes really well on my skin, and I don't feel like, you know, it's gonna be like that with everyone. I think it's gonna be a hit or miss with some people. On my skin, I absolutely fell in love with it, and I'm definitely getting a bottle of that one really soon, because I just have to. Like, I don't need any more fragrances, but I'm gonna have to have that fragrance because it smells amazing, and I will do a full review once I get my bottle. So that summarizes my list. If you guys have any questions, if you guys have tried any of these, comment down below, let other people know what you think, because, you know, it kind of helps people to get an idea of what they want to wear this coming winter. Guys, don't blind buy any of these, because I think a lot of you guys get really upset when you blind buy them and maybe you don't like them the way I like them, but I'm gonna say that I bet you there are things that you like that I don't like, so be real careful about this blind buy thing. I'm not trying to tell anyone to run and go blind buy all these. I think that's a horrible idea. I mean, I do it, but I don't think it's a good idea for me either. As always, thank you guys for watching. Remember to like this video if you liked it, be subscribed to my channel, hit that notification bell to get notified when I drop new videos, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye! What the hell's on my hand?